Hello everyone. The title of my presentation is The Relationship Between Simple Experiment Implementation and Interest in Science Learning among Year 5 students at the schools of under-enrolled schools in rural primary schools of Kota Belud district Sabah. The subject of science is a fun learning because science is not only limited to its context as a teaching medium about facts, theories, principles, and laws of nature, but science is also a process which is the development of students' ability to generate science knowledge systematically and based on evidence and able to unravel every problem in science. In the context of science subjects, the learning approach through practical work is identified as having advantages. Among them, it is able to encourage students' positive attitudes and effectively increase motivation in science learning, as stated in Occam and Zachary 2017. In addition, practical work is important in forming attitudes that further affect student achievement in science, as stated in Heaney 2017. Help improve students' communication skills in solving problems, encourage and increase students' interest in science, further promoting it as an interesting subject as stated in Woolnote 1994. There is no laboratory facilities in almost all the rural primary schools, especially under-enrolled schools. Hence, the science experiments cannot be implemented at the schools due to this critical situation. From various literature studies, it has been concluded that practical methods are effective for teaching science. If we apply practical methods in secondary science teaching, it can improve students' achievement or success in science subjects, and then students can learn about new technologies and innovations in the world and help use scientific methods in daily life. The curriculum also focuses on using local teaching materials and lesson plan teaching. Likewise, for the purpose of practical work, the cooperation of teachers and students is essential. According to John Dewey, the practical method is based on learning by doing, as stated in Kalra and Gupta 2012. In this method, students actively participate in practical work. It is a student-centered method, so it increases student engagement, creativity, and exploring knowledge and techniques about science and technology, as stated in Suit 2012. Practical methods develop students' physical, mental, and psychomotor skills. I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, I understand, I understand. This theme also focuses on practical methods, as stated in Ahmad 2009 and Mohan 2010. The purpose of this study is to identify the relationship between the simple experiment implementation and the interest in science learning among Year 5 students in rural primary schools under enrolled school category in Kota Belud district Sabah. The first null hypothesis is there is no relationship between simple practical implementation and interest in learning science among the Year 5 students in the under-enrolled school category in Kota Belud district Sabah. The research design is a quantitative research designed of a cross-sectional survey method involving 195 Year 5 students from under-enrolled schools in Kota Belud district, and it applied a simple random sampling technique. The inferential statistical analysis is Pearson product moment. The interpretation of the strength of the relationship is based on the Pearson correlation index by Bond and Fox 2007. The interpretation of the reliability level of this research instrument is based on Crumbach 1951, and the software is the IBM Statistical Package for Social Science, version 26.0. Table 1 shows the Pearson correlation index from Bonds and Fox in 2007, and Table 2 shows the instrument's reliability level from the source of Crumbach in 1951. The first null analysis is there is no relationship between simple practical implementation and interest in learning science among students in the 5th year of schools with fewer students in rural elementary schools. The result of the Pearson correlation test show the strength of the low to moderate relationship, which is R equal to 0.288, between simple experiment implementation in science teaching and learning and the interest in science learning. It indicates that there could be also other factors that contribute to the relationship, especially for under-enrolled schools. This positive relationship shows that the higher the simple experiment implementation in science teaching and learning, the higher the students' interest in science learning. While the significant value is 0.001, which is smaller than the set significant level, which is p less than 0.01. Therefore, the null hypothesis is successfully rejected. Thus, it is concluded that there is a low to moderate significant relationship between simple experiment implementation in science teaching and learning and the interest in science learning. The result of the Pearson correlation test show the strength of the low to moderate relationships between simple experiment implementation in science teaching and learning and the interest in science learning. This positive relationship shows that the higher the implementation of simple experiment in science teaching and learning, the higher the students' interest in learning science in the rural primary schools of under-enrolled school category. Through the findings of this study, it is concluded that simple science experiment activity are effective for teaching science. If teachers apply practical methods in science teaching, these can improve the achievement of success of students in science subjects, and subsequently students can learn about new technologies and innovations in the world and help the use of scientific methods in daily life. The curriculum should focus on using local teaching materials and lesson plan teaching, In the context of experiments implementation of science, it requires the cooperation of teachers and students, as stated in Kalra and Gupta 2012, that is through the interest of students to actively participate in science experiment through student-centered methods. In this way, teachers are able to increase engagement, creativity, and explore knowledge and techniques about science and technology, and further develop aspects of students' physical, mental, and psychomotor skill through a focus on practical methods. The conclusion: the study successfully proved the existence of a linear positive relationships between simple experiment implementation in science teaching and learning and the interest in science learning among Year 5 students of under-enrolled schools in rural primary schools. Through the findings of this study, the school, through the role of the teacher, needs to empower the implementation of simple experiment implementation in science teaching and learning in order to further increase students' interest in science learning. These are pictures of simple science experiment implementation. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you.